Hello. I'm Zeke Alexander, and I'm here to give some breaking news about Cissy Houston. According to Gwendolyn Quinn, the representative of the state of Whitney, Houston, Cissy Houston has died at the age of 91. The singer was surrounded by family when she died on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time while she was in hospice care. It has been noted that she had Alzheimer's disease. The statement says, "Our hearts are filled with pain and sadness. We lost the matriarch of our family," her daughter-in-law Pat Houston said. "Mother Cissy has been a strong and towering figure in our lives, a woman of deep faith and conviction who cared greatly about family, ministry, and her community. Her more than 7-decade career in music and entertainment will remain at the forefront of our hearts." Her daughter-in-law added, "Her contributions to popular music and culture are unparalleled," and was the youngest of 8 children to the late Nicholas and Delia Mae Drinkard, according to the biography provided by the family. Cissy definitely comes from a musically talented family. Her father, Nicholas Nitch Drinkard, was a tenor singer, and she started her career as a young child with the Drinkard Four, a gospel group, which later became the Drinkard Singers, and the Drinkard Singers included her sister, Lee Warrick, who is the mother of Dionne Warrick, her sister Ann Moss, and Marie Epps, as well as their brothers Larry and Nicholas Drinkard. The world-famous opera singer, who is a spinto soprano named Leontyne Price, is the cousin of Cissy Houston and Whitney Houston and Dionne Warrick, and she is currently 97 years old. The Drinkard Singers honed their craft at Newark's own New Hope Baptist Church, where Cissy and Whitney were lifelong members. The Drinkard Singers performed at Carnegie Hall and the Newport Jazz Festival in Newport, Rhode Island in 1957. They recorded their first live gospel album entitled A Joyful Noise at Webster Hall in New York City. The Drinkard Singers would go on to release their first live album. It was released in 1959 by RCA Records, making it one of the first times a gospel group released an album on a major record label. Throughout the life of the group, Dionne and her sister Dee Warrick were future members of the group and would go on to have their own success, Dionne more so than her sister. In 1963, the remaining members of the Drinkard Sisters, along with Dee Warrick, formed a new group entitled The Sweet Inspirations, which was a 4-member R&B group which provided background vocals for several artists through the 1960s, including Aretha Franklin, Dusty Springfield, Esther Phillips, Lou Rawls, Otis Redding, Solomon Burke, The Drifters, Wilson Pickett, and including the rock superstar Elvis Presley. Cissy can be heard on some rock classics by Van Morrison entitled Brown Eyed Girl, and also on Jimi Hendrix's Burning of the Midnight Lamp, and on Aretha Franklin's classic Ain't No Way. Ain't no way for me to love. I didn't warm up before I tried to hit that note, just saying. Okay, I can't hold a note. The Sweet Inspirations released 4 albums, after which Houston became a solo artist and released 10 albums on her own between the years of 1970 and 2012, as well as collaborative albums with Herbie Mann, Chuck Jackson, and Burt Bacharach. Houston is a 2-time Grammy-winning artist for Best Traditional Gospel Album twice for Face to Face in 1996 and He Leadeth Me in 1998. Among her many accolades, Cissy Houston was a 2020 inductee into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. She would amass a long list of credits for singing backup for the likes of Bette Midler, Paul Simon, Roberta Flack, David Bowie, Chaka Khan, Linda Ronstadt, Diana Ross, Luther Vandross, and Beyonce, among other artists. Cissy was known as a first-call backup artist, which meant she recorded and performed with a wide range of artists, some of which I've already named. And also, her daughter, Whitney Houston, was among those people. Whitney was Cissy Houston's youngest child, born in 1963. Her second child was Michael Houston, born in 1961 by her second husband, John Houston Jr., who was also the father of Whitney Houston. And her first and oldest son, Gary Garland, later known as Gary Houston, was from her first husband, Freddie Garland. He was born in 1957 and would go on to play in the NBA. Cissy Houston was there for her daughter Whitney's television debut on The Merv Griffin Show at 19 years old, where she sang Franklin's Ain't No Way and Sam Cooke's You Send Me with her mother. Whitney, who died the untimely death at the age of 48 in 2012, was remembered by her mother in a book titled Remembering Whitney, My Story of Love, Loss, and the Night the Music Stopped, which was published in 2013. During an interview on a press junket she was doing for her book, she said to the women of The View that she wrote the book to let everyone know that Whitney Houston was really nothing like what they thought she was. She continued to say that her daughter was a wonderful, giving, and loving kid. She did that, and she was good to people and just great. She had her little faults, but like everyone else, she was just a good person. Cissy Houston leaves behind her 2 sons, several grandchildren, but unfortunately, her most famous granddaughter, Bobby Christina Brown, died 3 years after her mother did at the age of 22. In a statement from Pat Houston, she says, "We are blessed and grateful that God allowed her to spend so many years with us, and we are thankful for all the many valuable life lessons that she has taught us. May she rest in peace alongside her daughter Whitney and granddaughter Bobby Christina and other cherished family members." Rest in peace to one of the godmothers of the music industry, Miss Cissy Houston, at the age of 91. I wanted to give a little background on Miss Houston, and just to show that she was more than Whitney Houston's mother. She was her own phenomenal musician and singer in her own right. And without her, we may have never known the many talents of Whitney Houston. But we must give her flowers and give her the accolades that she's earned and deserved over 70 years in the music business. Thank you for all of your talents and your achievements and everything that you've just done to bring us music and the gift of music and the gift of sound and recordings that, you know, bring people joy, be it gospel, pop, rock, soul, R&B, all of it. She did it, and she deserves those flowers. Thank you, and may you rest in peace.